off-lane DK? Yeah. Which is interesting. But Ember in the safe lane is even better against a DK than he would be mid. So we'll see.
It still feels very forced. We're checking it out. The infused tunic of the Wandering Flame. Okay.
Steam ID K-Free. Just send that right on. In response, you'll get a special shout out.
Yeah, if you go.
Is that okay? Can we sell shout outs for free items?
No, you can't.
Are you sure?
I'm fairly like I don't think PGL would have an issue with it. But if you want to be a professional,
that's true.
Maybe not the greatest thing to do.
It's a good point.
Like at that point, like you'd be a caster that would turn their webcam on again.
What if I weren't
during the game?
What if it wasn't a sale of a shout out, but more of a thanks?
It's like
to an appreciated fan.
Like if you put a tweet out for somebody, then you do it on your own social network, and that way you can look like a beggar.
Okay, that works for me.
Yeah. So you it's all right.
Free stuff, best stuff.
Sure. DK, gonna come and say hello, looking for the early runes or just looking to take a lot of early damage. Moon Meander, he's gonna jump forward, he's in front of him, they got another Frostbite in 2 seconds time, and this could just be first blood on the offlane DK. They need the information up the hill, Frostbite's down, Moon knows that he's already taunting it. The upside is Bounty Rune for Vanscore. This is the oh, did they just lose the bottom one too?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's actually a 3 for, there's no upside.
And they're rotating lanes. They're putting a Spectre against a Mag-Lina lane. I do not think he'll fare well there. You're going to have a 2 or 3 point Empower Mag just beating on the creep wave. Lina spamming spells. Mid is the one matchup I think Gambit's heavily favored in. I'm pretty sure Necro should beat an Ember, but he won the block so hard that Ajit's going to be able to take this entire wave under tower.
Yep. Safo was still able to get 3 of the last hits out of the creep wave. But, all right. So fun times to be had up on the side lanes as well as the mid. I kind of want to keep my eye a little bit closer on these side lanes just to see how much damage comes in, how much farm the Spectre is actually able to achieve early on too. And how long King Arce is on top lane? Like, is it almost this point where it's like, okay, just get off the lane, let the DK stand. But if he does this, Moon and 1437 are going to rip him apart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem. I actually think King R, I don't know if he's like not watched the replays of how Enigmas play this or not, but you don't farm with level 1 Eidolons. You farm with level 2 or level 3 Eidolons, and this is just not what you want to be doing because you're leaving your DK on an island, and as you said, he'll get heavily punished in this lane. You also don't farm. Like, he's still struggling to kill the second Ogre. This is Eidolon spawn dose. Like, it's just not ideal.
I just don't know how he can even put the Eidolons into the lane, because the second he does that, Moon's going to be able to clean them up. Even 1437, like, he went for the Frostbite and into Aura, but that was mainly because he had the opportunity to get the kill on the DK by getting Frostbite.
Yep.
Once Nova arrives, or if 1437, which he's going to do it anyway, they'll just move down, so bottom lane, okay, the kill will go on to Zephyr, but you knew this was going to come eventually. Like, they'll take his farm, they'll take his space.
Yep. You don't mind, like, they look at all the mana used down bottom. Like, now, yeah, your Lina died, but it wasn't First Blood, and Vanscore has no mana now, or regen. So Lina just comes back to lane with CM Aura. He'll be able to spam 7 more nukes on Spectre's face, and the regen will continue to get burnt.
Yep, well, Bane's out of mana. He's got 1 Brain Sap available, and that's all she's got left. She's having some fun with Afo and mid. As Necro, at least he's got some good regeneration left. That's his upside. Frostbite's out. Go with the Malefice. Moon just going to shield crash. Trying to get a little bit of the damage, but he's in trouble. Munches on a tango. Backs up a little bit more. He's coming back in again. Moon. Does he really want to try and commit for this one? Breathe fires off cooldown in 4 seconds time. So yeah, he knew he could survive. And then they go Frostbite. Not enough from just a level 1 swashbuckle to get the kill.
Yep. And yes, mid, by the way, is going pretty well for the Necro, but I swear that first couple waves going flip-flop to each tower, it's the only reason Ajit like has a game. You can't really be in this lane whatsoever until level 2 Flame Guard, and now that he's got it, he'll be able to trade pretty much from here on out. And that this could have been going much worse for him. But down 5 CS, you take that.
They're diving again. They're not even looking at the DK. They know they don't want to kill him, but killing King R, a level 2 Enigma now, this is a lot more achievable. And then they'll hold him in position and bring him down.
Did he not recognize
And he
mangoes?
killed all 3 conversions as well.
Man, that was so strange from King R, man. You know they have mangoes. They're going to be able to kill you. Just keep running away.
Uh-huh.
And now he's blowing mana on it. I guess it's fine because he has the TP, but still.
Malphus onto Moon, but then the jump forward. Frostbite out once more. They're giving stick charges over, and there's still bottle charges available for Moon Meander. But they won't finish off. Ooh, King R, maybe they would. 32 HP he'll drop down to.
That is so strange. He's going to be forced to salve. Not a huge deal, but still just...
Space creative for DK? Question mark?
Can't outrun a wild
I guess. But what does a DK really do with the space in this sort of game? I feel like he's not as much the tempo controller as he is the sacrificial lamb up here in this top lane.
Vansko may be in a little bit of trouble. Skew is available. That's going to close up the distance for Wonder Kid and buy more time for Zephyr, who has so much movement speed. Nice juke. Moving around the light strike array.
And
But it's mid dead as well.
might be.
He's got enough mana in 5 seconds, not even 5 seconds, to get both Frostbite and Nova. And I think that's what they were waiting for 1437, but it wasn't even required.
And that is why Ember beats Necro. Yes, you're out-dueled in the initial laning phase, as you can see, 29 to 17 CS, but you get the kill potential all the time. Bottom lane, as you can see.
Yeah.
Magnus trying to get the rune.
Once again, Lena gets a drop. Hey, Enigma's moved over, but this is a level 3 Enigma who's come to his own jungle.
Yep. This is, kids at home, this is not how you want to play Enigma. Sorry, King R, but you sit top, you lane with your DK, help deny, get level 3, level 4, level 5, maybe a soul ring, then you head to the jungle. But this is not ideal.
And then they still got 3 of the bounty runes, even with the 3 heroes of Gambit on bottom. Wonder Kid took both of the bounty runes on bottom. The top was the only other trade-off. But you look towards mid, Flame Guard turns on, you know the fight's coming once again, and Afo's too far out. Yep. Frost Blast just slows him up. You can have the rotation in from King R, but with Frostbite, Necrophos, okay, he'll go Shroud. 1 charges are available. Vanscore's died in the meantime, as now the Reaper's Scythe, 1437. He's at least able to survive long enough that he doesn't have the extra death timer.
Yep, you're fine with that. If you're 1-4-3-7, even don't mind. Top lane, pretty much trade. DK versus Pango. No one can really get that far ahead.
Actually coming in after him again.
He's got 2 points, Dragon Blood. He's never dying here.
Vanscore actually died underneath this tier 1 tower. That's how that kill happened on bottom. Like he was standing literally where he is now.
And this I would say this is going very well for Gambit, where their Enigma not so far behind. Still just level 3. You would never see Yapzor in this position 6:30 into a game.
Oh my god, he did it again. just this continuous harassment from Zephyr and a level 2 Dragon Slave that found himself the kill.
Yep. We saw OG do this as well at TI, like this empowered ranged offlaner with the Magnus. And Lena's probably ideal, where you have the Fiery Soul.
Moon's in trouble. Moon's in fact dead. He tried to shield crash himself away from the Dragon Knight, but it was already too much damage, and he was continuously taking the tick damage too.
Unfortunate.
I think that ward from 1437 will last a grand total of 1 minute. As he's chased away by the Eidolons. Also, Afo moving over. No ultimate available, but it won't matter. They'll still probably find the kill on the CM. Up the hill, everybody doesn't miss, so CM does go down.
Yeah, not a bad pickoff.
Actually, a lot closer this early game than I thought it was going to be. But is this a good advantage for Gambit? Like, is this the start they wanted to have? Because we were pretty heavily favored towards Tigers at the end of the draft.
The problem is that Spectre's their win condition, and he's having a very poor game. The only bright side is that Ajit not doing as well as maybe you would hope. Electing to skip the bottle as well, not something I've seen very often, but your problem is that your Spectre's going to have a hard time getting into this game. And DK Necro, sure, they're doing well, but they don't change the status quo. They can walk at a lane, but it's going to get counter pushed, and then what do you do? There's no reach on this side without Spectre.
Moon's claiming money. He'll need friends to come and help him out, and he's got it actually on the way. Ember Spirit as well as Crystal Maiden. When they're ready to fight, but Dire Observer Ward saw the movement off the mid lane, so they just let it go.
Bottom. Vanscore again.
Yeah, getting caught out. RP, Wonder Kid, just playing around with it because he was looking to try and control up the Spectre. As Zephyr able to hit the stun, but it will not help. Apo was in range with the Heartstopper Aura to find the kill. Meanwhile, up on top lane, Moomiander stunning the Rolling Thunder as King R. Yeah, no way to escape from this one. As yet, probably not the kill he wanted to have rotating towards the top lane. He would have wanted the DK, but you'll take what you can get.
Man, Heartstopper Aura is so OP. It's
Yeah.
2.3 of your max HP per second when it's maxed out. That
Yeah.
goes through BKB. That's not fair, folks. It's not fair. That's getting nerfed.
And if it does it, if it gets buffed.
It won't. I would bet my hair on it.
Okay, done. Taking it. Taking the deal. We'll see if it gets nerfed, everyone. Kyle promised to cut his hair.
Top.
Yeah, DK's in a hell of a lot of trouble. 3 heroes all around it, but then again, there's a lot of support with the Spectre now haunting in, but the last attack from 1437 had the damage. Nightmare from Van Skull. Finally, Ajit will be free of it. Moon Meander's giving everyone a little bit of extra life to continue the fight, thanks to his bottle charges. And this happens just before the 10-minute time, too. So, Rune contest will continue.
And you can already see the issue with Gambit where, yeah, you can bring your Spectre up top, but there's no chasing potential. It's the same as we saw last game where Gambit, if they can keep rolling, yeah, they'll win a fight, but it's just so much easier for Tigers to make moves and look good doing it because they have such cheap abilities. Low mana cost, low cooldown, tons of stuns. It's so much harder to skirmish against them. Look at Moon. He's going to roll in for the rune.
Yep. He
So
won't
close.
claim it, however. He'll bounce over two, comes back, continues on the pain, and they'll frostbite him in and hold him. Meanwhile, Magnus took both of the runes on bottom. And you talk about like cheap abilities. Like when Spec went top, it took DK a while to get on bottom lane, so Magnus was having all the time of his life.
Yep.
Like he creep skipped, he pulled it up, made sure the timing was good, to able to pick up both runes.
I'm pretty surprised
Great.
Wonder Kid isn't going for a more carry mag style. You know, he's going the Blink instead of like a Treads, Echo, Shadowblade, something like that. I think he should be definitely going Silver Edge in this game. Someone wants to against a Spectre and a DK, but if he isn't, I don't know who will.
But he's also that solid answer, and to play around Enigma Black Hole having a Blink Dagger is just going to be like wonderful, because it means Enigma is nothing. Well, actually, Enigma is nothing already.
Exactly. That was my comment. You beat me to it.
Yeah, I meant to be the positive one. I'll be the negative one so you can be the positive one.
Sounds
Kyle, the friend to all pro players. Phoenix Grip in mid lane. Zephyr's in a lot of trouble, and he will die. No TP support coming in. And that's mainly because they're pressuring everywhere else. Moon baited out the Rolling Thunder, and Spectral Dagger away for Spec.
I don't know if I like either of the core builds on Tigers at the moment. He's going Bots Rush on the Ember Spirit, whereas I feel like you go Treads and just start fighting. I mean, you're so strong at this point. However, they may just have identified the mid game is going to be too powerful from Gambit. So let's play for the late.
Oh, well, Spectral Dagger's up on top already with Rolling Thunder down. Moon. So it's 1-4-3-7. They're adding pressure, but they lost their tier 1 tower in mid. So they won't be feeling too happy about this. Still, the gold advantage goes the way of Tigers.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of pressure in the bot lane. You can see an empowered Ember shoving this out. They all, you know, they might have just thought to themselves, you know what? We can play for late because we have an Ember. And at a certain point, Ember kills everybody on Gambit. If he just plays for his own game, at a certain point, one Aegis, one throw, like, Ember can just carry this game single-handedly because they really don't have any tools to catch him outside of DK stun.
Yep. And they'll still be able to keep the lanes under control. Like, the split push is fantastic. Everyone gets Empower buffed up, so everyone farms better as well.
Yep.
And there seems to be a lot more catch on Tigers. Like, the ability to find a kill doesn't have to be done with, like, Aphro's Reaper Scythe. Like, DK is now going to go into the Blink Dagger, but it's taking some time. But they burn the Dragon form. Moon just wants to crush away the creep wave, but this won't stop Gambit from continuously pushing in, and that's the reason why you see the
Blink
TP
RP ready.
and they had the Blink. RP into two, skewer him back. No, the Nightmare will stop it, but it won't stop the Rolling Thunder of Moon coming right through the middle of Gambit. Let it go as well. There's no way for the Dragon Knight to escape back out.
What?
There's one. Even
Aphro?
Aphro walked back in to the freezing field. Blinks off cooldown in just 1 second so he can blink forward. They get the information. Spectral Horn is out, but this seems to be becoming way too late. Wonderkid will die thanks to the Reaper's side, but maybe it's not too late. They're finding the kills. It's Afro Ninja who's actually claimed 2 of them. Laguna Blade to pick up the sides. As King R was King R, so nothing of value was lost in this game so far.
And that right there, you can see the Ember item build coming into play. Because if he has a bit more power, that stutter step after his Remnant in, if he doesn't feel confident manning up on Necro because his Flame Guard's down for a sec, but that's just because he's effectively no build-up items. If he goes for the chains right away, Necro's going to die. But because he then has time to juke into the trees, jukes the Pangolier Q, now he has 2 kills, he's full health, fight lost.
Yeah. And he's actually getting pretty close to finishing up his Eel Scepter too.
Yep.
So ways to try and mess around with either Tiger's initiation or just to save himself and buy time.
He just finished his hood, and now he almost has a Yules. Like, that's crazy. And both he and DK are now nigh unkillable because the physical damage from Tigers just isn't there yet.
Damage from Moon's pretty good on Devanskol. Even with the Death Pulse regeneration, he's still a little low.
Well, King R is a hood too. He's rushing pipe. There are 3 hoods already up at 14 minutes on the side of Gambit. And that's going to be a major issue because the Ember's built bots first, Mag going Arcane's Blink. Doesn't seem to match up too well. They have no physical DPS for quite some time.
So this team fight that they wanted to have, and that's what the builds are for. Like, it just won't be strong enough. It's what Tigers do not want now. Once they realize the item builds. But maybe they can force it in other ways. Wonderkid comes in towards the mid lane. Look for King R. Whoa, okay, yep. He had the Dire Observer Ward. They had all the information in the world. Frostbite, sisters working together. King R, even with the pipe up, cannot stop the physical damage that comes in from both 1437 as well as Zephyr.
Love watching Moon. He's done a great job just stalling top as long as possible. They're going to lose both top bounties, but down bottom, Tigers will be able to pick up both on Wonderkid. No real tower pressure outside of that bottom lane. Ember's going to just love this area of the map for the rest of the game. He can play bottom forever. The rest of his team can do as they please. He's always able to bots in. Top, look at Moon in the trees, looking to set up. Might be able to find a team fight here. Here come the TPs.
Yeah, they're looking for it. They're looking for the push because they know Dragon Form is up. They knew the pressure would be applied by Gambit. 1437 inside the trees. What a great freezing field. They just can't stop it. Moon will roll through, pushing back the Bane too. There's that defensive Yule Scepter. It came in, so Afro has time to survive and look for the kill on the Ember Spirit. Flame Guard will now arrive, and Moon, he needs to keep both the DK as well as the Necro just a little bit busy. Buy time for the Shrine and then the re-engage, and that's what they're looking for. Spirit jump in, the Searing Chains didn't come in time. Instead it was the Dragon Tail stun, and he even has to just be dodged up. Yule Scepter into the air, that's actually from the Necro. He'll get into the Ghost Shrine with the 1 charge, so heavy regeneration still there for Gambit, and it's just too much. Tigers, they just go in one after the other and die. They are feeding the bees.
Didn't I just say they had 3 hoods, Toby?
Yeah,
you know what you do?
you did. You did.
When the enemy team invests 6,000 gold onto items that provide nothing, absolutely nothing but survivability, do you know what you should start doing? You farm the map. You avoid running into the Necrophos DK. That was a double TP on top of each other. And even though Afo, I thought, made a miscue, he ulted the mag to ensure the kill instead of stopping the CM ult, but it doesn't matter because it's just no damage. They have no damage other than the magical. And Lena wasn't even there.
I can't believe that happened. Maybe they didn't see the inventory. We do have the bird's eye perspective, but...
Oh my god, Spectre has a hood too.
Yes, okay, so Spectre's got a hood. Still got 2.3k going towards the Radiance. You get a Blink Dagger on the DK, so Initiation has arrived. You've almost got a full pipe on King R. How's that interaction actually work when you got the pipe as well as the hood? Like, you let the pipe burn off, then you trigger your hood?
I believe they stack, because the hood is a spell shield, and the pipe functions... I actually have no idea. I'm talking out of my ass.
Okay.
I'm going to assume, yes, they stack, because they're different buffs. It's barrier. Okay, they're both barrier. I have no idea.
let's just watch it and find out, and we can get it meta tested later. Yeah.
Actually, no, they do stack, because I know I've seen people that kept hood in their inventory and like lock the pipe recipe so that they can get both.
Okay.
So you look at Bane, by the way. He's real poor right now, but after that urn, he's going Glimmer Cape. He can't afford a hood. That's pretty expensive, but he's got to do something to deal with the magical damage. And You're at a point already as Tigers where you actually have no threat. Ajit's going Lincoln's next? Really?
Okay. I would have thought Maelstrom and some way to try and start pushing back, farming up, moving.
I don't want to say this is over, Toby, but no one on Tigers is going to do any damage pretty soon. And Spectre's going Radiance.
That was meant to be the other way around when I looked at this. It's like, okay, well, Spec will take some time to get on board. It's going to be aggression from Tigers. They'll never reach the items they need to actually do damage. That's why we were questioning it. But now they can tank through the magical burst. So there's less damage from 1437 as well as Zephyr. The pipe is totally done. And initiation is stronger for Gambit because you're about to see it.
Blink
There's
DK.
Dragon Form as well as the Blink up for the DK. And he jumps in instantly for the Magnus. They want to be able to control up that big team fight control of his, even with the Reaper Sight to get the RP off. He skewers back the DK. A nice quick jump away from Moon.
Super well
But Gambit
played.
got what they wanted.
King R used his demonic conversion on the creep that Ember was TPing to. That's it. Fight over. Ember can't get here.
And they found another one. Nightmare from Zephyr. Vanskor. You said it's the Vanskor special. It didn't feel like it in game 1, but game 2, Vanskor finds the opening. Lina will fall down, and they will keep this push going. A tier 2 tower is pretty much theirs. And if there's a fight back, Spectre didn't even join it. He still has Haunt.
Well done, Gambit. They're playing an incredibly smooth and crisp game, mostly in part to the Tigers kind of throwing themselves at them like lemmings, but still well executed. However, so far, I would say that the team that appears to be winning the games in this series.
Moon. All he wanted to do was just get the bounty rune. And now 1437 will have to pay the price for his teammate.
Man, Afro Ninja is having the most, the craziest great performance I've seen in this tournament thus far. Just seems to walk in, find kills, heal to full, and you can see he's blowing kisses. He's so happy.
This is what Tigers was giving to Gambit. What Gambit was giving to Tigers in game 1. It's like, well, here's an opportunity. Would you like to take it?
Yep.
Okay.
And we were talking about this during the break. The great teams, you got to beat them by making plays. To beat the good teams, you just got to minimize your mistakes. And teams like LGD, Secret, they don't give you windows like we've seen in this series thus far. And if either one of these teams wants to take out Fnatic, they're going to need to just sharpen the plays up, because right now there's a lack of recognition of your team's timings on both sides. It was Gambit in the first game, and right now I look at the way Tigers itemize. I think, okay, my Mag has Blink, Arcanes, he's going Force, but the Ember's going Bots, Lincolns. Are you trying to fight now or later?
Yeah. They need to work out what they really want from this. Like, if the game can slow down, maybe Tigers have the time to talk it through and to say, okay, guys, like, what are we actually looking for? Like, game 1, we saw their win condition. We saw the double dominator. We saw this mindset of, like, we must push.
Ooh.
Top lane, they're going to have a little bit more troubles because Pangalier's about to die. Just a simple nightmare from Vanskor. Walk up, they have the Observer and Sentry. They know he's totally alone. So no pressure, while in mid lane, Zephyr, there's your stun. Reaper Sight was available, but looks like he's not worth it. And
in the meantime, Radiant's now complete on Spectre. This is probably go time if I'm Gambit. You've got Pipe. You're soon to have a mech as well on King R. Your Necro's enormous. He's got a Blink along with the DK. DK also 2,500 gold in the bank. You could just buy another defensive item. You don't need a BKB here.
They're at least going to take the tier 2 tower in mid. That's as a minimum.
Yep.
It's actually all out of towers. 22 minutes in. Gambit will remove all out of towers of Tigers.
And I don't want to say this one's over, but I'm starting to hear a soprano
like
rising behind me. And Tigers might need to just think about game 3 at this point.
The fat lady is not singing. Currently muzzled.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate turn of events. And it kind of comes down to that one fight once again. Game 1, that tier 1 skirmish where Tigers just take a wipe and get map control. The exact same thing happened here. A 1-by-1 teleport into a half-assed defense where you then end up not only losing your 3 or 4 heroes, but your entire team is now congregated on your own side of the map.
I know what they're doing. They're just trying to change the balances of like Dire victory versus Radiant victory.
That could be it.
That's it. That's done. All right. Well, Loucas is up. Whoop, hello, RP. No, he didn't get on the other side of him. He was looking to drag him back. Now, Wonder Kid will be able to do that, but the Spectral Haunt, it is all about Gambit running in. There goes your big hit. So goodbye to the Magnus. Moon Meander can use his Rolling Thunder to get away to safety. It won't be the same for 1437, however. The Radiance Burn was hitting him pretty hard, and Vanscore's been tasked of chasing him down. A quick observer ward and keep the run going.
Moon?
Meanwhile, Moon on the run away, as stun will be there. The rest of the follow-up, Afo. Your Scepter's up. They're trying to buy more time to get the control out, but that's why Moon... Oh, he gets bashed by Roshan. Nothing can go their way. At least the Crystal Maiden was able to TP out to safety, but hey, Moon was going to Roshan, so is Gambit. They're in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, that was, they're like, thank you.
Convenience.
Save us some time. We can be a little more efficient.
It's like an American drive-through.
Yeah, get our advanced stats up. I don't know what you do now if you're Tigers to win, because you actually have no teamfight items whatsoever. Black hole.
And yeah, commit the black hole. The Lincolns does not care about that, and they even broke the Lincolns. Like, what was that? Was that the Maleficus
Yeah, the
that triggered
Maleficus.
it?
Yeah.
All right.
That was really easy.
That was real fast. Like, just that quick hit, like the Maleficus hit. The Dragon Tail was right after. And
this part of why
he was not ready.
I really don't like Lincolns as like your first real item on Ember, because Yul's Maelstrom are so valuable. You don't necessarily need both, but just one of them is always nice. And this game, like once that Lincolns is procced, his entire inventory is effectively a wand and an Aquila, because nothing else is giving him any assistance.
They're stalking. Looking for the kill onto King R underneath the Radiant Sentry ward. That's why 1437 thought he might have something here. Meanwhile, Zephyr killed off by Spectre, and they even Fiend's Grip. Pangolier, yep, you can Rolling Thunder all you want, but you are not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And maybe this is when Tigers even start thinking about it, like, okay, like, maybe it's better we just move on to Game 3 and just forget that this whole game exists.
I'm just so confused. Necro's going to catch Mag. A little bit of trouble is Wonder Kid, but he's going to TP out. Should be just fine. There's no... Oh, there is a sight. Oh, he doesn't use it in time. He tips him as a thank you for letting me out.
King R saying hello to Ajit on bottom lane. But, yeah.
I think if you're Gambit, just take your... Just go push. I don't actually think Tigers can win a fight here unless they hit a 2-3 man plus RP and then screw them into the base, which is always a possibility, but you're up against the Maleficus stun to interrupt, the Yules, maybe you just wait for Spectre Haunt.
You've still got mech, you've still got pipe, you've still got multiple hoods. The base regeneration, like even if DK is sitting at 30.2, like he can go high ground pretty comfortably.
Yeah, and bear in mind as well, he's got 50% physical resist and 50% magical resist. So the EHP... Well, just double his health. He's at 24. Make that 48. Can you really find a way to deal that much damage?
Wait, was that Ember TPing back and he just had the creep denied? Yeah, he's stuck on bottom lane for the moment.
Oh, they know that too.
He TP'd onto a creep, which had 30% HP.
Yep.
So it was the easiest kill for Gambit. Yeah, they're coming. They're gonna push mid.
Yep.
Pan goes up on top. Spectre's got the Haunt available, so he can join the fight instantly.
Yep. And I love this split a little bit. DK Necro, make sure you can't get 2-man RP'd. If it does go out, Spectre can Haunt in. Simple, easy way to...
Maybe Tigers just let this go too.
Yep.
Like,
they have to.
Like, the Urn got put onto the Magnus as well. It's a small little thing from Fanscope. You can see him going in real deep. He wants to get the Urn on the Magnus, so there's no blink available.
He did it again?
And he did it again. So no ability to even get the one big team fight ability that they've got. Meanwhile, bottom lane has been just pushed in and creeps kept.
So this is the part of the game Spectre becomes so threatening. They get the tier 3, they get the Shrine. You probably just wait for the Spectre Heart. You still have another 2 minutes on Aegis, so you could afford to wait for the next DK form.
He's going to TP up towards the top lane, and he'll find that last bit of farm to finish up the heart.
Yeah, I mean, if the last game taught us anything, if this game taught us anything, it's probably better safe than sorry.
If this game taught us anything, it's like we don't give these games to the panel because the panel predictions would never be able to do anything with it.
Yeah, would not do it justice.
This is why sometimes, like, even if you come in and say, well, okay, I predict the Tigers should win this because their draft is good, the execution side of things is... Like, from game 1 to game 2 is like night and day.
Well, it's just the one mistake, right? And that's the thing about Dota. We're oh, well, bottom, Mag.
Spectral Haunt. This is one easy way of doing it. Don't have to burn their urn charges anymore. It's 4 staff down, skewer away. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden dies in the mid lane because they're just pushing through, and when with the Reaper's Scythe, you'll say goodbye to the Lina too. Ghost Rider will amplify the damage, and he actually kills him with the Heartstopper Aura. Just on the edge. Woo! RP, no skewer available, but it won't matter. Moon will come through with a Rolling Thunder, bounces back once more, so he gets the double roll through. And then meanwhile, the melee rack has been brought down almost there. Dragon Form is off cooldown right now. That'll give them their last bit. Dragon Tail stun, Pangolier, Moon, oh boy. Well, he'll buy back, but they've already lost their mid-racks, but it's not going to stop Gambit. They're rotating to the bottom lane. They want to get more, but now the Nightmare's worn off. Their Dragon Tail stun to potentially kill the Magnets again. 73 seconds without him. And the tier 3 tower has opened up. The bottom racks has opened up, and this game has opened up. And another blink stun, dodging the Pangolier initiation. White flag on the door, please. Tigers, there's no real coming back from this.
Indeed. I'm surprised that Necro hasn't bought back yet. He's probably still in shock that he was able to get so much out of the game.
Yeah. Actually, that's, got called by Moon, confirmed by Gambit, and that is the game. Not even half an hour on the clock. That was just, what was that?
Well,
like, how do you even describe that game?
That is Dota 2. We're being a bit harsh.
Yeah, this is the game Dota 2, Kyle. I cannot fault you on this.
I'm being a bit harsh. But the thing is that we've progressed to a point now where everyone is so good that no longer is the better team 5 mistakes ahead. It's 1 or 2. And it's solved in a way how to win after a certain point. Gambit itemizes for survivability. Tigers don't recognize that. They take 1 poor fight, and all of a sudden all those hoods, they paid for themselves because now you bought yourself 4 hero kills in a tower.
Yep.
Now you're going for your core items, but you have that survivability edge, and now this fast-paced play of Tigers, hampered a bit by their own item choices, no longer effective. Suddenly you're realizing, wait, we can't do shit.
It felt like
it
felt like the ultimate cause and effect. It's like, well, okay, like the cause of the effect of that team fight in the top lane. Okay, we've got survivability. All right, so we need to find that damage. We have a Lincoln's. This isn't going to be enough. We're actually jumping into this. No, we're gonna scroll back a little bit in time.
Yeah, that was a really cool counter initiation. But I also look at this play. Ember's in the base. Even if they get that RP skewer back, that was a DK. He had 2,000 plus HP in a hood. Was that really going to work?
No.
No.
There's not a nicer way of putting that. And even this, like, Moon gets bashed up, no way to jump out, no way to move. He had no way to escape that anyway. Yeah. It just went from bad to worse. And then Ember, like, these moments, like Gambit, they just see it, they act on it. This was... Like, this game almost seemed too easy for them. Like, after looking at game 1 where, like, I thought, like, Gambit would have some level of recoil. Like, oh, like, Tigers beat them pretty well. Like, there were a lot of problems for Gambit. They weren't getting their synergy right. They weren't getting their moments right. And then this game comes around. It's like, well, okay, no. Everything goes right. And Tigers had nothing. Like, they had no answer at any point.
Yep. And it's a cool idea, like for the fans at home that are looking to like expand upon their Dota knowledge, this is where being an analyst on the panel is a bit difficult because when you look at a draft, you don't really know necessarily how the items are going to play a role or how the lanes are going to affect the game.
Yep.
So watching it as it occurs, and you see Gambit literally have 4 hoods by 18 minutes, that changes the way this game has to be played by Tigers if they want to win. And you can't predict this when you just see the draft. You can just think about how fast Tigers will play, how they're going to be here and there, like tons of skirmishes, guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
But in fact, it's sort of like Gambit built a bunch of photon cannons around each one of their heroes, and all of a sudden, you're no longer able to rush the base.
Did you just try and StarCraft us?
I tried.